Okay, Mark, I'm going to review your last lesson, and we'll go over a couple pointers that we made at your swing and your game in general. I think you were saying that you're pretty happy with the way you're hitting it. I would really get rid of this habit of rolling the face that open. It's just so much harder to get it closed. You're at this point, the face should look like this, and the face looks like that. So that's what we call fanning the club open, and extremely flat on the backswing. So I wouldn't worry too much about the flat. I mean, I'd rather have you swing on one plane. But you really got to be concerned about the face, because there comes a point where it gets so open at the top that you really never can consistently square it at the bottom, and you lose distance. Okay? So you want to make sure that when you come down, now this is a practice swing, and I deliberately filmed a practice and then a real swing, like we reviewed in the, well, I'm sorry, this is a, yeah, that's a real swing. So compared to the amount of the over the top that you were having before, that certainly is better. It's still more, the word is locked up. By that I mean that you really want to feel freer with your wrists. The thing that costs you some power is a lot of your swing is operated by your body. Oh, here's the other one now. What I wanted to show you here. A lot of your swing is operated by your body. Sway back, sway forward, and kind of drag the handle. So what I'm trying to do is get some more power by adding some leverage a little at a time. So there you are at the top. And then as we come down here, you're going to notice the arms drop nicely inside. So I think you know what to do here now, except for this. This is still wide open. This club should be all the way down looking at the ground right now. So you've got to use your hands and arms to torque that club over to have a consistent draw. That's the practice swing. So now what we do here is always set up a little bit closed to the target. So let's say this would be a target. Your body should be aimed slightly to the right, never to the left. That'll help you get the club down more inside, and then it's a sway back. And now see, this one doesn't loop down like the practice swing. This one loops out, and when it loops out, the face goes from a little open to a lot open, and then you wipe across the ball with an open face. Or at the last minute, you'll get the club square, you'll pull it. A lot of times going in that direction, you can be too late with the club coming down, and you can top it. So those three shots, pulls, slices, and tops, are common from an outside-in swing. That said, we have much less of an outside-in swing than you used to have. So we're trying to get some more snap into the wrist, because you're not using the power of the leverage like a carpenter with a hammer, as I was saying, hitting a nail. Cock the wrist, boom, cock the wrist, boom. The power coming from the leverage of the wrist. But this is a sway of the body back and a sway of the body down, and that's losing your power. So we could really work on setting the wrist. And when I had your feet together, almost touching each other, you hit the ball almost as far or further and a lot straighter, because the body doesn't tend to run ahead. See, one of the disadvantages of getting a club that open at the top is you're going to try to come over it and throw your body at it on the downswing. Throw your body at it like this on the downswing to get it square again. So it's still a matter of the club face. And the reason I've said to you in the past, take the club face back looking at the ball, You don't take it back in that direction, you take it back a little bit here, but it has to be looking at the ball. See, immediately your club face starts to look away from the ball. And that's from an excessive roll of your arms. Your forearms are rolling, and now your club face is looking over here. So do the best you can, Mark, to keep that club at this point looking straight down at the ground. That's the best advice that's the best way we can progress with your game. That way, when you get it up to the top, don't worry about the flat for a minute, but when you get it up to the top, it would be looking like this. We'd see the club face on this side instead of on the other side of the shaft. And then you could snap your wrist down from the inside and stay slightly behind the ball. There's no way you're going to stay behind the golf ball and not use your body excessively as long as the face remains that open. So what does that mean? Right palm should be at the sky, left wrist nice and flat, left palm looking up at the sky, which is really a sign of a better club face, for example. This thing that you do here is, 80% of golfers do some of it because of a poor grip or the club face being open at the top. Now we've got you in a little stronger grip, but you can see you still have a tendency to shoot over it, and that goes through your short game, your bunker play, and most everything. We're still trying to get you to snap the wrist down more from the inside. Now, the thing here is, as you start to get down from the inside, you also need to add a little bit of follow through, which I started to operate with, but I'm concerned, and I'm not trying to hold this information back from your training. I'm just saying that if you become overly concerned with getting through the ball, getting your weight off. There's a lot of expressions they use in golf. Get your weight off your back foot, transfer your weight to your front foot, get your force going over to your lead foot and your body turning through to face the target. That becomes an over concern, then again you'll come from the outside because you won't drop your arms inside. The most important thing we can do is get a very square club face and have a drop instead of the body spinning out, what we call spinning out early and bringing the club out there. You can see already that club should be right here. It's way outside your hands. Now it's even more outside your hands and still looking over here. So if the club face at all times in your swing was looking down at the ball, you'd be so much more powerful and snapping the power into the golf ball. Okay? All right, I hope that helps you, Mark. It's good working with you.